What's up, guys? So the NFL draft has not yet happened, so we don't really know what rookies are going to be landing where. We don't really know what offensive lines are kind of solidified. There's been a little bit of movement with like offensive linemen going to a couple of teams, but we still really don't know the rankings or the pre-season rankings of what O lines are going to be the top. That's usually a fairly decent indicator of like what running backs are going to be productive. But the second part of that equation is which running backs are actually like good, which running backs are actually good running backs, and trying to like strip any of those other variables like who the quarterbacks are, wide receivers, O line, division, strength of schedule, all that type of shit, all those variables we can't account for. Like, let's just look at like which running backs are actually good. So I did have a look. I was checking out PFF to try to just find some value, and Tyler Allgeier's name popped up to me because he was the fifth ranked running back on PFF, and I thought that was interesting because he scored 86.7 overall on PFF with an 88 in rushing and pure rushing. Now we kind of always knew that Tyler Allgeier wasn't really like a versatile receiving type back. He's more of a pure rusher coming out of college, and I think like his stats on PFF kind of reflect that, right? So he's got a 61 receiving, he's got a 56 in pass blocking, and a 51 in run blocking. Kind of pedestrian across the board, but nothing that's like red or below average. There's a couple of guys who score like in the red in some of these categories who have been much more productive for much longer than Allgeier ever was. So I think Tyler Allgeier being on the Falcons, a team that's in rebuild and a very young team, I think that there's no reason for them to spend draft capital on a young running back. It wouldn't make sense. Even if like someone like Gibbs were to fall to them, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why not just use somebody who's been productive for you? He's been a 1K rusher, right? So he was a 1K rusher even in a split backfield with Cordero Patterson. I know Patterson was he got injured and then kind of just got fully faded out near the end of the season. And the entire time, Allgeier had his attempts. He had his like 10 to 15 rushing attempts pretty much on repeat every week, and he was productive when he did get the ball. And, for a long time, I always thought he was kind of just like a pure rusher, really didn't have much else to offer. I didn't think he was really that fast. I just thought he was just a guy, and he'll be gone after a season or two. But, like after looking at some of his tape, I drafted him personally last year in a bunch of rookie drafts and stuff like that. So I like kept a small eye on him, but never like a big, close eye. I mean, Falcons were never really on TV. They're never really on, in scoring positions. So I never saw them on Red Zone. But I think it might be a good idea to look at some of his footage and just see if we see anything come off the screen. I mean, personally, like I think his vision is great, not just good. I think he knows where the holes are. Like, understandably, in a lot of these clips, like the holes are, massive. So how can you not see them? But something that impresses me about Allgeier is like the way he can like turn a corner and accelerate. And dude, he seeks contact and drags people. He drags defenders. Like such a small, low center of gravity type dude, but he's powerful, man. And he's built like a fucking shit brick house. So I don't know, man. I think he's solid. I mean, look at this hole. Holy shit. Like the Falcons, as bad as they were, dude, they were a fucking effective rushing team, and they would not rush the ball. Like they could be down by 33 and they're still rushing the ball. That they gave no fucks about how many points they had on the board, how much they were losing by. They were rushing the ball. And dude, and anybody like I would like to have a player on an offense like that, especially a running back, obviously. Like you could see here, he knows how to follow blocks, he knows how to let plays develop. He seeks contact, which, hey, I mean, injury risk there, but for the most part, I imagine him retaining this starting role. I can't imagine the Falcons spending more draft capital on another running back. It just wouldn't make sense. Like, he's on such a cheap contract. Why not just like use him? And Dynasty and startup Dynasty drafts are kind of reflecting some of that sentiment that he's going in like the 8th, 9th, 10th, maybe not 8th, but like 9th, 10th, 11th round in startup drafts, which is like around the same time as like your Brian Robinsons, your Isaiah Pacheco's, other guys that are also kind of like 1-2 year rentals. But I don't know. I think if he could show out again early this season, like he needs to get off to a hot start to retain it. And if he can obviously not, get supplanted through the draft or through injury or anything like that, I imagine Desmond Ridder coming in and really solidifying this offense and making it a much more productive offense. And I think, like with Drake London having another season, Kyle Pitts another season, Desmond Ridder being hopefully more of a pass-first quarterback, and like just threatening the defense a little more, keeping them honest. Why not, dude? Why not aim for a guy like this in like the 4th, 5th round? Like, this is the type of dude you want in those rounds, with the prospect that they might end like a top 7, top 8 running back. It's prototypical type of dude you want. I would, put Isaiah Pacheco in that same category. It's, again, those second-year running backs who were able to supplant old vets that were on their team, and not only did they supplant them, but they were productive when they did. That's like the key. Those are the types of dudes you want to start targeting and going into the next seasons. So anyway, I just think, I think he's great. I think he's solid. I think he's a great target. So draft him, as early as the 4th round, and I think you'll be happy with that. So anyway, guys, hope you like the video. If you do, like and subscribe it, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.